Look like a scrub. Feel like a scrub. Didn't get to sub. Alright. Sub life is scrub life. Make this really quick. Still really not doing well with the work. It's been pretty much, well, it's been almost 2 full weeks now since I've been available as a sub. It's a little over a week and a half. I've only worked 2 days. Not great. Not great at all. So that sucks. It makes me very anxious because I need money to live and pay rent and groceries and gas and bills and all the other adulty fun things. But on the side of that, I'm trying to be productive. My motivation, because of my anxiety and stress levels, are kind of getting like sapped, and I'm not feeling super motivated to just go and get awesome stuff done while I have the time. I'm trying to be positive about that, but it's being really difficult, so it kind of sucks. Anyway, main thing I wanted to talk about real quick is just that there's no highlights of other videos within this video. This vlog is just the vlog, and that's it. Yeah, anyway, so links to those other things that went on this week will always be at the end of the video. There's always like those little thumbnails of other videos that you can see. So I'll put some of that in there. But yeah, there's some art process and the story time, and yeah, so we'll do this for now. We'll see what happens. Sub life is scrub life. Deers. Just staring right at me. Looks like Lethbridge decided to join the rest of the country and have winter. Finally. Like, it snowed before, and it's been, I don't know if we hit -20 at all this winter. Maybe once or twice. Like, around Christmas we had snow for a couple days. I really don't think we've had snow on the ground for a full week this winter in Lethbridge, which I'm assuming is par for the course. This is only my second winter here? Third? Second? I don't know. I guess it'd have to be third, I think. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so now it is -22, but apparently it feels like -35. Usually the wind we get is what keeps us warm and doesn't like cool things down, but for the next couple days anyway, it's gonna be rough. Oh, not even that rough. This is like regular average Saskatchewan winter, and it's like the beginning of February, and now we're getting winter in Lethbridge. At least it looks like it'll be consistent. It's been this way already for a couple days, and looks like, well, judging by the weather forecast, that it will continue to be this way for yet a couple more days, at least. It's supposed to get to like -6 around Thursday. I mean, that's gonna change. That's too far in the future to trust. But yeah, got some winter in this city finally, which, yeah, I could kind of do without now that I'm used to like it being warmer all the time. Again, biking is like the biggest thing. If it wasn't for biking, I you know, wouldn't mind as much. I remember my first winter in Lethbridge, obviously as an adult, not when I was a little kid and I was here, but yeah, when I first moved here, I remember the first snow that happened. It was just, and I think that's also par for the course, like, it seems that when it snows here, it just snows for like 24 hours at least, and just doesn't stop, and I'm not used to that. But anyway, it snowed a lot, the very first snow, and it was like, okay, whatever, it's winter now, no big deal. Hadn't really experienced a winter here yet, so, and right now I'm on the west side, and I was living on the west side at the time, and I was going to go out to downtown. It wasn't a big deal. It was like in the morning or whatever, and then the bridge was closed, and it was like, excuse me? You can't just close a bridge because it snows. Like, this is winter. This happens. And at that time, I didn't really think about it. I didn't realize that there was another bridge that was open, which is like Highway 3, or attaches to Highway 3. But whoop up, this here that we're about to go on, that connects to 6th Ave, that was closed. It was just like, it just blew my mind. I was like, it snowed. It's a little snowy. Like, you can't just go around closing bridges on a whim because winter. hits, like it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't like a blizzard. It just snowed slowly for a while. Good old Canadian winter. Like I said, if it wasn't for the biking and the lack thereof, because I don't want to venture out into this weather, this would just be normal, and I wouldn't have any complaints at all, because this is like fine winter weather, like, or very, very average from what I grew up in, like in Outlook and Saskatoon, like just in Saskatchewan, like -20 whatever. That's okay. Yeah, it's winter. That's what's gonna be like from, like, you know, November till March, or yeah, at least November till March. Sometimes starting in October, sometimes going into April. And Lethbridge, we get winter in February apparently. Yo, it's cold out. It's February and it's finally winter in Lethbridge. Cold enough for me to bust out my winter jacket. Repping that Sage Francis Strange Famous Records. I'm going to Casa to look at some art, check out the art exhibits, and apparently they broadcast the Art Now talks that the U of L does. They host different artists and folks in the art community, and yeah, just like a lecture thing. I wanted to go down there and see it in person, but I was gonna go to the studio, and Cass is like 2 blocks away from the studio. Figured I'd park at the mall, walk down here, walk to the studio. I don't have to drive myself across the city. But yeah, we'll see what's up. We're at Casa now. Talking that I'm about to go watch. So, yeah, I'm gonna get some stuff done in the studio today. I hope I'm productive because it's cold out, and I don't want to be unproductive and just be in here doing nothing. And it has nothing to do with the cold. I think it's more pressure in a good way because I didn't sub today because I didn't get a call, so I better get some stuff done in here. Even though stuff I'm doing in here isn't going to make me any money or pay my rent, I didn't really have an option to pay my rent today, so I'm going to come in here and still feel like I had a really productive, good day. On that note, so I went live with Laura Lee yesterday. I'm shooting this on Monday. Who knows when you'll see it, but yesterday, Sunday, we had a conversation in here about purity, and we were making a piece on the wall here. And that was a thing that didn't, I don't want to say it didn't go well. It just wasn't what either of us were used to. I think our collaborative paintings have been fairly successful. I mean, we've only done 2, and both of those have been different from each other as well. But this was not as easy. It didn't like flow as well. And so we kind of left this behind it, and it's still wet. We left this behind and figured we would deal with it later and see what we were going to do with it. But yeah, we ended up taking it off the wall and just making a big thing on the floor, and just I was like using those shoes over there to like step in the paint and move around the puddle, and I'll move around the puddle some more now because it's not dry yet. But yeah. Well, it's noisy, but took my car to VW again. I live pretty much across the street. Not really, but whenever they try to give me a ride, I'm like, no, I'm right across the street. Across the highway, and then a few blocks, but I don't want to get a shuttle ride for that. That's annoying. So anyway, V-dub. Had a slow leak in my tire for the past week or two, and now that we actually have winter and it's like -20, it's going down a lot quicker because of the cold. So I need to get a patch on that. I also was scheduled for an oil change in February anyway, so I guess I'm gonna get that done, which is annoying to say the least, just because my finances right now, I mean, which is, it's probably the reason I wanted to go in there to make sure I got that patch on my tire, because like the worst thing right now that I can think of, not the worst, but I don't want to get a sub call, go to my car all ready to go, and then realize, oh, actually I have a flat tire right now, so I either need to change that in -20 or -25 or whatever. Even if it was -10, it's not fun to sit there and change a tire in the cold. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna be late, and then I have to call them, or I have to call them and cancel, and I just don't want to, for many reasons I don't want to do that. I don't want to miss out on a day's work, and I don't want to be associated, like my name associated with, yeah, we called him and then he couldn't show up. And even if they know the reason why, who knows if they're relaying that onto the person they're talking to or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, my car is going to be the first one in there, so they said it'll only be like 45 minutes. I could just wait, but man, if I brought a magazine, which I should have, then I guess that would have been okay, 45 minutes, not bad. But instead I opted to walk home, and now I'm talking to you. Anyway, this is sub life now, sub life. Never know if I'm going to be working or not. Trying to make the day productive when I'm not at work, and got to spend money to make money. So it's not usually how that's said in this context, but got to spend money to fix my vehicle so I can have my vehicle to get to jobs, right? Whew. So started subbing last week. I guess I've been eligible to sub for 1 week, and I've only worked 1 day, which was last Friday. Today is Thursday, so that sucks. I had an excellent day where I was subbing on Friday, but yeah, I haven't subbed a day since. Haven't gotten any calls. Like, I'm in 2 different school districts right now for subbing, and I haven't gotten calls for either. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that means that there's 8 opportunities there that I could have had for subbing, and yeah, didn't get any calls. So February is already not a cool month for subs because there's winter break, which coincides with reading week for universities or college students, etc. So I'm like forced to take a week off then, and like that's already just no good. And I haven't worked for 4 days. Like, this is just not good for my anxiety at all. So yeah, I've just been thinking about, oh wait, how am I going to pay rent? That's going to be fun. Not to mention that my car, like, I had to take it into VW, those expenses that aren't in my regular monthly budget, and I didn't have any money really saved for that, and then not subbing. It's pretty fun, pretty cool. Yeah, so I'm a little worried, a little anxious, a little worried. My anxiety's been screwing with me really bad the past couple of days. I think part of it is just like not having a regular place to go to, like not knowing if I'm gonna work is part of it. I mean, if I didn't know if I was gonna work, but at least I worked maybe 2 out of those 4 days, then I think it would be a lot better just to be around people and stuff. I have to get out of the house no matter what every day for something, but I mean, sometimes getting out of the house doesn't lead to a lot of interaction, and I just went from like teaching part-time, but I was there every day, every school day, sometimes more, with like students and like hundreds and hundreds of bodies around, and like people to talk to and things to do. And now it's like, oh, from day to day, I don't know. So I'm trying to stay productive and stay positive and whatever. And it was like, you know what? It's a positive day. I got up, I worked out, I showered, I was ready to go by like 6 in the morning, and I didn't get a call, but I'm gonna go to the studio. So I tried to make it positive, but I mean, 4 days in a row of being ready to go and not having anywhere to go to, like having to go to, or spending my time in a productive way that will pay rent, because I can be productive in a lot of different ways, but that doesn't necessarily pay my rent. So yeah, just freaking out a bit, like mostly internally. Usually I sleep fine, and the other, well, I mean, I guess there have been 2 nights where I actually did not go to sleep. Like one, like I mean, there are 2 nights where I did not sleep well. Usually, once I want to go to bed, within 30 seconds, I am asleep. I mean, when I want to go to sleep, I'm asleep, and no issues. But the other night, it took a while to fall asleep. I woke up, couldn't get back to sleep. Yeah, so it's not doing great things for my mental health. Just not knowing if I'm gonna be able to make rent from subbing, and like, ugh, that was already a concern, but it wasn't as strong of a concern as it is now, because just the reality of the situation is sinking in a little bit, and it's just tough. That. Yeah, me too.